Hi, my name's Sam Pansino and we're here at Flood Audio Concepts for NsayneTV, the show about modified cars and custom car audio systems. On today's show, we've got part 2 of the feature car for Broads' DUBZ, that really cool Jeep Patriot. We've also got a bit of a workshop tour. We've got part 2 of Insane Hands where we show the JDMCOP car getting finished. But first up, it's the Brett Files, the Brett Files, the Brett Files. I'm Stupid Sam.
I'm Brett. This is the Brett Files.
Cool, I was wondering what we're here for.
Yes.
Caps.
Yes.
Hey, you have one right here.
I do. I knew you were going to talk about caps today. I knew you were going to ask questions about caps.
Do you know why?
Tell me why.
Because I just got my stereo fired up, got my sub going, and you know, while the sub's thumping away, my headlight's starting to dim, and everyone's saying, fit a cap, you know, you should have put a cap to start with, and I'm like, what does a cap do, you know? Is a cap for starters?
Well, what sort of cap is a cap? Right. How about I explain what a cap is?
That sounds like a plan before we start.
It's effectively a device for storing electrical current.
Yep.
The bonus with using a cap is you put it in the back where your amplifiers are. When they need that extra power, when the bass hits and the amps are drawing all that current,
yep,
it can take it from the capacitor straight away, instead of taking it from the battery at the front, which is right down the front of the car with all the power cable. You can just take it straight from the capacitor.
That's similar to a surge tank, like a fuel surge tank. Like when you need that extra bit of fuel, you've got that 1 litre tank of fuel ready to go.
Exactly.
And that does the same thing with electricity.
Definitely.
So if your subs are thumping, you need that extra bit of current draw, that's going to give it to you?
It definitely will.
Sweet. Okay.
I mean, you know, usually there's a good rule of thumb, you know, you go 1 farad of capacitance for every 1,000 watts.
Okay.
So if you've got, you know, a 1,000 watt amplifier, then you would generally, you know, if the rest of your power system's not up to scratch, if you've already done your power cable upgrades and you've got a big battery in there like an Optima or something.
Well, I've got my Optima, I've got my zero gauge, but I've got, you know, 2 PDX 1000s thumping away. Now I'm getting a bit of headlight dimming. So is that going to help me?
The cap will definitely help.
Sweet.
It'll take the edge off the power demand off the car.
Killer. And obviously the closer I can get that to the amp, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, look, within reason. You know, you want to try and make it cosmetically integrated as well. So, you know, having it hard up against the amplifier is probably not going to make any difference.
Yeah, true.
In fact, you know, some people have said, you know, if you keep it a little bit further away, the cable will act as a buffer as well, to take out any noises or anything in the car's electrical system.
Cool.
Fitting a cap in can also sometimes help get rid of engine noise.
Yeah.
If you've done all the other upgrades, the cap will sometimes help, you know, smooth out or filter out the AC ripple in the power supply.
There you go. But quick question, $50 cap, $400 cap. Is there really a difference?
Look, there is a difference.
I know it's a bit of a question,
but they might look the same, but the quality of the components or the construction of the cap makes a big difference.
Okay.
And with those cheaper caps, they're really not going to be up to scratch. Same deal. Some of the bigger caps where you see a 20 farad digital cap.
Yep.
Some of the cheaper ones, you get a 20 farad cap for $199.
What are you really buying?
Definitely, sort of you're buying an empty case.
Yeah. So the trick is, if you're going to buy a cap, stick with your brand names, because they're a brand name for a reason. They've done their research. They've got a rep to protect. Yeah. So get yourself a decent cap.
Basically, you know, read the forums, see what other people are using. You know, what they think of the caps or the products, and make your own decisions from there.
But if I'm running just, you know, like a head unit, aftermarket head unit, or even factory head unit, front speakers, one sub off a little monoblock, do I need a cap?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to put one in for cosmetic value, things like these Stinger caps here, the HPM series. This is an older style HPM series, but they have the voltage display in the top, so it gives you a bit more of a flashy install in the boot. It's got a couple of little lights in there that flash on and off when the bass is going. And
that would be handy, like if you're at a car show and you've got your voltage gauge going on your cap as well. You can keep an eye on your audio system, so you know if your battery's going flat, or if you're down at the beach at night and you got your stereo blaring within legal reason.
Yeah, because you don't want to do that.
No, not too loud, but
no,
cool.
Disturb the neighbours of the beach.
There you go. And is this like a battery, like you're going to make sure when you're tightening your cap you don't arc the wires across?
Yeah, definitely. Once this thing is charged, that is exactly like the terminals on your battery.
Cool.
If those two touch,
sparks?
Big sparks.
Cool. Okay.
Also, you got to be careful when you first put it in to make sure you charge the capacitor up properly.
Just go bang, feed it power?
You can pop fuses, you get massive sparks, burn out terminals, that sort of thing. Definitely not a good thing.
Okay.
A lot of caps when you buy them will come with a resistor.
Yep.
Which helps.
I've seen, yeah, they come with runs across the two terminals sort of thing.
Exactly. Basically what that'll do is it'll allow the power to slowly enter the cap instead of all of it at once, because the cap will try and draw it all in one hit.
And then create nothing but a voltage spiking, giving you all kinds of dramas.
Exactly. If it doesn't come with a resistor, or if you buy one second hand, which you probably shouldn't do, second hand car audio is generally pretty bad, you can use just a normal automotive test light.
Yep.
Put the clamp onto the positive terminal, the test light onto the cable.
Yep.
And what will happen is it'll actually filter the power in through the test light. So the globe will light up, and slowly.
But it's charging the cap through the globe.
Exactly, and the globe will get dimmer and dimmer, and when you can't see the globe lit up anymore, you know the cap is fully charged.
There you go. So, well, I hope that helps you with your cap. So I know I'm going to go and get a cap now because I'm running 2 amps that are drawing a bit over a 1,000 watt RMS or 1,000 watts.
With that bald spot, you probably do need a cap.
Well, I'm not going to get sunburnt, but Brett, thank you very much, mate. So I'm going to go and get myself a nice cap, but I'll tell my mates who've only got just the one sub happening and one little mono not to worry about it. Yeah. So, but mate, that's very handy.
No problem at all.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Brett.
I'm Stupid Sam.
Brett Files.
See you later.
Ciao.
That was the Brett Files. Hope you enjoyed it. Gotta love that. Getting smarter each time. My hair keeps changing each time, so soon I'll get to stay like this, I hope. But before we cross over to Exotic Customs to watch the rest of the JDMCOP car get wrapped up, we've got a few readers' questions. We'll start with Fat Daz, who's a fat fan of the Fat Boys. Love your work, Daz, as per always. Mate, nailed it again. Can't wait for the Brett Files cap feature. Funny you say that, because if you watch this episode, this is when we talk about it. And also, this week's Brett Files and the sub sound waves was very helpful, which was technically last week's episode. So we've had actually quite a few viewers comment on that already, so I hope it helps. Next question's from Danny. G'day Sam and Brett. I'm a big fan of the show and I've learned heaps so far. Quick question for you. This week Brett explained sub box positioning for practical reasons, i.e. gas tank and usable boot. I'm planning on a corner boot sub box with my Image Dynamics ID Max 12, which are a bloody awesome sound quality sub. How does the corner boot sub rank with comparing to other positions? Any tips for best results? Firing directly across the boot versus angled forward, etc. Keep up the good work. Well, Danny, subs are a bit of a dark science. If you're going to try and put the sub in a quarter panel, go for the furthest corner from you, because the further you can make that sub away from you, the better it's going to sound. So being that you've got a right-hand drive car, which I hope you have, then put the sub in the left rear quarter and either shoot it across so it loads up against the other quarter panel, or angle it somewhere. But if you angle it forward, you're still going to get a great sound, because one of those things, if you can get it in the box, move it around inside the boot and hear the sound wave difference and see if you can pick what's going to work best for you. Just get a cheap prefab box just to give it a try and see if you can, or hear if you can hear the sound difference in the car. So, but left rear corner panel will be the sweet spot in your car. Well, I think that's enough of the questions for now. Time to cross over to Exotic Customs and go and see Nick and Sean and how the JDMCOP car's coming along. Let's go. Lindsay, I'd like to introduce you to JDMCOP.
Holy sh!
Simon, have a look.
Oh my God.
How's that JDMCOP car, I tell ya? And the light bar for the roof is nearly ready, isn't it, Brett?
Yes.
Cool. Now, before we go on a workshop tour, got another question here. This one comes from Jeremy. Hi Sam and Brett, love your show and I feel the passion as I'm a gearhead myself. Good work. I am a South African and live in Dubai. Ha ha ha, yeah. And drive a 2006 Z4 convertible. Woo! I also have a Desert Basher in the form of a Traxxas Revo 3.3, so I've never heard of that car, and that fatter guard that I've put on isn't working the best. Too many flies, need more fatter guard. I also just wanted some advice. If I'm looking at sound upgrade, mainly bass and a little extra volume, should I do an install like the NSX with a sub in the passenger floor, or just get some good 6-inch drivers to replace the ones in my kick panels? I listen mainly to R&B and hip hop, so I need a little punch, but space is a big concern. Also, what mid-bass drivers should I get? I have a budget of US $500 for the upgrade, so nothing too fancy. Little problem, if you listen to R&B and hip hop, the bass you're looking for is probably about the 40-50 hertz mark, and the mids just aren't going to cut it at the volume you need, especially if it's a convertible. You know, going for that sub in the floor in the passenger footwell, if you've got the room to do it, or if you've got passengers with really short feet, then yeah, that's going to be the way to go, because if you can get bass in your cabin, it's going to sound heaps better. If you just put mid-bass drivers in the door, you'll get more mid-bass punch, but you're not going to get the sub-bass punch you're after, especially you got the roof down cranking and that thing, it's just, you're not going to hear them. So, and the only catch is for $500, you're not going to be able to really, you'd have to add a zero to that price. You know, if you look around the $5 mark, you get your custom fiberglass box, really good 10-inch sub, really good mono block amp, all to run off your factory unit, then yeah, you'd be sweet, but $500, you'd really be pushing it, so can't really help you on that one. Or try roadkill in your car to stop a lot of the noise coming in to start with, and you'll find that you'll probably get a lot of the bass that you're already missing. So give that a shot and let us know how you go. Now it's time for the workshop tour. Let's go. First cab off the rank is Vito's Ute. He's crewman, he's cross 8, whatever you want to call this monster of a car. He's got his rocker covers all done. So being that he's half Italian, half Croatian, we've got a bit of a colour theme happening where we've got half Italian flag, half Croatian flag. There's been creative for you. As you can see, struts are out, leaf springs are out. The 22s are on their way. This car's getting dumped on the ground. We're going to make this thing just look absolutely nuts. And we're also going to do a bit of tubbing in the back, similar to the Gemini Ute, which I'll show you shortly. But next up, check out Project A. She's all in its first gloss coat. This ain't the finished product, this is just to see how the car's going to look. But we're already seeing the bonnet line is just, oh man, absolutely amazing. This car's just, it's going to be pure sex on wheels. This is, woohoo, loving it, loving it. You got to see this in real life, it'll blow you away. Next up, we've got our Audi A4, doing a full body kit on it. Well, full body kit just being rear bar, side skirts and front bar. Got a bit of grafting going on. It's a bit too hard to get to back there, but next cab off the ranks, the N12 Pulsar. She's all blocked back, ready to be sprayed. The front guard's already done, the door's already done. Next week, you should see this thing almost fully assembled. It's coming along incredible. Tim, you're gonna love it, man. The white is blinding. It's absolutely awesome. Crossing over to this BMW 1 Series, this has got a twin turbo engine in it. You gotta love it, so absolutely amazing. We're doing a Image Dynamics 10-inch sub, an Audison Bit 1 processor, 2 Arc Mini amps. So if you have a quick look in the boot, it gets a bit serious in there. We've got some Focal 4-inch front splits, some Earthquake shallow mount subs under the seats. This thing's gonna sound just so nice. Pure sound quality. If we make our way down the back, our wide body Skyline, she's almost done. Front bars just had all its indicators all molded up, so all the lines are perfect. Front guards are nearly done. We're just squaring up the lines to the carbon bonnet, and then the car's off to Vito so he can give it its final touch. And then wait until you see the paintwork on this. The color he's chosen, oh yeah! That's gonna be crazy. And if we can make our way through here, we're still going on these subs, trying to get all the angles right. We're going to basically just build these boxes in 2 chambers, a left chamber and a right chamber. So 2 subs are going to share the same space, but all with magnets out. We're going to have 5 PDX amplifiers running up the center, but we're just going to make sure we can get the boxes in and out first. So we're having a few little space issues, but we'll get this one sorted. So we come across here, you can see with our Audi rear spoiler, it used to have, or rear skirt, sorry, it used to have a twin exhaust. We've gotten rid of the twin exhaust. We just cardboarded it all up, fiberglassed it, and now we're just making it so it's a single exhaust system. And that's the Skyline front bar. We've just basically neatened up all the lines so that way when the indicator goes in there, it buds up to the bar perfectly. Being fiberglass, it came out of the mold a bit going, but we've fixed it. And if we make our way down here, last but not least, this is the BMW 1 Series quarter panel. There's a fiberglass box we're making for it so far. We've already done our 4 layers of glass to start with. We'll probably just give this, it's been scuffed back ready for another 2 layers. Then we're just going to put a wall up here for the 10-inch sub, and then we'll just grill cloth the rest of it, glass it from inside, and she's right to go. But we'll hopefully see this thing finished next week. That was our workshop tour. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week. That was the workshop tour. Hope you enjoyed the workshop. Now it's time for the continuation of Broads' DUBZ, that really cool Jeep Patriot. Let's go and check out the audio system.
You are watching a master at work.
Guess what subs he has? 2 Boston G5s. I gotta tell you, this car, when you turn it on, you get goosebumps. They're just the sound that comes out of it, because the speakers are mounted in their own sealed boxes in the doors, and the way we've now done, we'll have a close look at the door pods, the way we've done the new speaker grille, there's nothing to stop the front of the speaker with its dispersion of sound, whereas before the factory grille was over it, causing a bit of internal cancellation. The sound that comes out of this now, you literally sit in this car and think someone is singing to you live on top of your dashboard, to the point where you're about to yell at them saying, hey, get off my dash. It's bloody awesome. So Broad, you're gonna love this car, mate. It's, over the top. Only way to put it. Only way to do it. And yeah, that's the insane way. You're gonna love it. Let's check out these door pods. Checking out these front door pods, you can see the way it's been made so that way the sound can just have its dispersion off the speaker with no interference whatsoever, which really helps get the mid bass out of the floor. We've just basically made a 6mm MDF ring. We've then gotten the original speaker grille. We've then just used a bit of masking tape to make our shape, and we got the Terrason plastic weld, which is the big tubes of it's like Celastic, but it comes out and dries into solid plastic. We filled that all up, ground it all down, gave it a bit of texture so that way it looks like it's got the same texture as the plastic. Hit it with a bit of colour match vinyl paint, and before you know it, it's such a great factory look, but the speaker's sunk inside, so you're not going to clip this in any way, so you didn't have to worry about a grill. One of the hardest things to do with this car as well was run new wire through the door. If you ever get a chance to look at the door on these, the wires don't actually go in through the front of the door. They go through the front of the door trim in a really thin array of wiring. It's absolutely crazy, but with a bit of manipulation, we're able to get 2 new 16 gauge wires running through. One runs to the speaker, the other one's just floating around inside here, because Broads is intending on down the track going into a 3-way setup where we're going to have an extra mid-range driver in the top of the door just to enhance the vocals even more. So he's always just taking this one step further and always evolving, because you can never have enough audio in your car. It just keeps getting better and better. There's a little LED up inside there, so it's going to light it up at night as well. So this car is going to look awesome. But if we take a look under the seats, we'll see we've got a couple of amplifiers floating under there as well, and we'll take a quick look at the subs in the back of the car. And just to take this one step further, if we look at the amps under the seats, one of the amps is the mono block for the G5 in the back, or for one of the G5s. The other amp is the 4-channel, and it's bridged, basically channels 1 and 2 bridged to run the tweeter, channels 3 and 4 bridged to run the mid. So basically the left amp has its own, or the left amp runs the left door speakers and the right amp runs the right speakers. That way you've got complete audio separation, so there's no way of any like sound bleeding through the amps, because sometimes if you're running just a 4-channel as a 4-channel, the sound can bleed from the left channel to the right channel. If you run individual amplifiers, there's no chance of bleeding through, and when you bridge them to double the power, well, each note just sounds as sharp and as accurate as humanly possible. When Broads wants to get serious about sound, he whacks in the ground pounder. This plays real loud, real low, so real gut-wrenching bass. So when he needs the business side of bass, in goes the Sirius box. But for day-to-day use, and just for simple audio listening pleasure, we're going for either an 8 or a 10 mounted in the factory location, and we'll be grafting it very similar to the way the front doors have been done. So yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully we'll have that all sorted. But in the meantime, he just has to put up with his ground pounder running all day, every day as his daily. So yeah, it's pretty damn cool anyway. But yeah, just the way the rest of this audio sounds, with just a single 10 or a single 8 filling up the rest of the cabin space, it'll sound awesome. But this just puts you right over the top when you just really want to feel it. So this is when it's, you know, the business side of being loud. Hope you enjoy it. Well, that was this week's feature car. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, and do. We'll see you at the next feature car. Cheerio! That was this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out NsayneTV for any episodes that you might not have seen yet. And if there's something you want to see, or if there's a question that's got you bugged and you want to know about it, ask Brett, ask myself, and let's see if we can't help you. And tell us what else you'd like to see on the show. And stay tuned for some crazy feature cars coming up too. We've got some doozies, buddies. Yeah. See y'all. I'd like to remind you about joining our Facebook group. Just search for Fat Audio Concepts, join, and chat with other car enthusiasts. Leave questions and comments and feedback for either myself or Brett, and we'll do the best to incorporate your feedback into the show. Welcome to Fat Audio Concepts, and I stuffed that totally and we haven't even started. Can we start again? Everyone's saying, fit a cap, you know, you should have put a cap to start with, but... I just had a fly go in my eye. Can I keep going with that?
3, 2.
The next question's from Daz. Daz is a big fat fan and flies. Sorry, I always keep swearing, I do apologise, but...
Are these flies annoying you?
Damn straight they are.
You need to use new Fatiguard.
Sweet.
Don't forget the Fatiguard and have a good weekend.
Spray me up, Scotty. No more flies. All right, Daz.
Fatiguard.